Hello everybody, welcome back to Musings by Nikki. This is Nikki. I am here today with the second book in my kind of wings duo here. The first one was this ring bound. So now I have kind of its larger counterpart, one of my traditional curved spine ones. So this is 6-ish by 9-ish, and it has a curved spine, and there's some bands on the spine. It's fabric covered. There's this pretty butterfly and some sewing and layering right here on this one at the top band. And then it's just covered with this kind of almost canvas, it feels like. Kind of like in a heavier, maybe upholstery or something fabric. Anyway, it's really pretty and it matches the kits that I've used really well. And then on the front, there's just some images. This one's from Ephemera's Garden. This is from one of the kits. It says, "With brave wings she flies." There's just some layering, old book pages, that sort of things. And then down here on the bottom, it just says wings, and it has a little twine and their little tags that are through there. Kind of cute. Just like with the other one, there is some sewing, but not a ton of sewing in this one. Not a ton of charms and lace and stuff. I was trying to get away from that for just a second and make some books that didn't have quite as much of the of that stuff going on. So this is really big. It does have a bunch of tabs and stuff. It has 234 pages in it, and like virtually all of them have stuff on them or have some sort of touch, tons of stuff in there. So it's tied shut with this seam binding closure like this. And let's get through. Let's go through it. Let's make sure that we are in frame. And we are. All right. So right inside, I've used a bunch of pattern papers from, I don't know, I have like probably 20 different pads of patterned paper, and when I start a book, I just start going through them and flipping through them. So some of these papers are just random ones. I couldn't even tell you. But I've also used like 4 or 5 kits in this. And so Zoe Tofield, who's Razzers Craft on Etsy. I'll link these in the description box below so you can see them. Stacy Belts, who that's her Etsy shop's name, and I used her Vintage Dragonfly Dreams and Vintage Bursting Butterflies, also her vintage flashcards. I use some, there's probably some Amy Joy Studios in here. I know there's LJB Instaprints and Ephemera's Garden and Graphics Fairy. So I've used a bunch of kits, and they're kits that I found and have been wanting to use for a while. So here we go. Anyway, right in the front, there's a little flip up. You could write your information in there. You could, it could be your Ex Libris page. And then we've got some, I used some of my pieces from one of my Lindsay's and or ephemera packs. So there's that. Vintage, these are the Vintage Garden flashcards, and then that's Graphics Fairy. Here's another pocket, just some little tags that I popped out down here. And then inside the first pocket, this is from Zoe's kit, and this is from LJB Instaprints. And here's a tag up here, the pretty butterfly. Then there are a couple of these pages. They just have a little tab on them, and they fold out, so you can write on the inside. Zoe's kit. Zoe's kit. Here's a little journaling card. Journaling card. These are some tags that I cut out and distressed and put on top of this lace. Here's a little card that I made that I'll move it around and see if you can see it's embossed and with a bird and some flowers and sewn around. And that opens up and you can journal in there. These are some pages from a vintage children's science encyclopedia, children's science textbook that you can actually have some of these in my Etsy shop now too that you can get. So these pages are about woodpeckers. Here is some Tim Holtz vellum. This is some of the beautiful stuff from Zoe Tofield's kit. More vellum. Here's some more from that children's science book. A tuck spot here with one of the flashcards and some butterfly images. I was saying in my last video that the Stacy Belts kits, the butterflies and dragonflies, come with a ton of ephemera. So they're actually really useful kits if you're making journals. Here's some more, kind of a double layer of pockets. Here's a postcard. And then just a couple more little baby tags down there. Tucked into this big dragonfly pocket is a little notebook. And there's a bunch of pages you could write on in here. And again, this is something that you could take out and tuck in your purse for little notes if you wanted to, or you can leave it right here tucked in. This is the beginning of the next signature. This opens up, and this was like a kind of a play on an idea from Tracy Fox. Had recently done a trifold thing with tuck spots. So that's kind of what this idea is. And then that just ties back up. There we go. And there's some vintage, some old music dictionary page there. It's really cool. Some coffee stain papers. This is from an old children's Lutheran hymnal. It says the bird's departure and the summer breeze. Vellum. Here are some pockets, or here's a pocket, and inside there is one of the tags from Zoe's kit, or Graphics Fairy, I don't remember. And then there is a little file folder, and in there is a little journaling card. In the middle of this signature, there are a couple of layered pockets. So these tags here, I know, are from Zoe's kit. And then behind them are some journaling cards from the Dragonfly kit. This is from Graphics Fairy. It's a little library pocket with the journaling card. Some more of that sheet music, pretty birds from the kits. Here is a pocket with some vintage lace on it. And then from April at Pink Oddbird, the offcuts I made into journaling cards with, then I just put some extra stuff. My printer for some reason stopped printing halfway through like several of the sheets. I don't know, connectivity issues or whatever. So I did what April did and cut them down and used them to make some journaling cards. So that's what that is. Hi, April. This is just a pull-out piece that goes behind this pocket, and then this opens up, and there is some journaling space and a pretty butterfly. Whoa, I hadn't intended for that to come all the way off. There we go. More from Zoe's kits. Here's another flip out. Some more tags that I just kind of sewed back and forth on. This little page. This is some Edith Holden. Here is a little library pocket. It says what you should know about the purple martin. And then this is, I did a bunch of collaging on here with some different pieces of ephemera, and it's got a window that opens up so you can see the tag on the inside that has some birds on it. And that slides back in there, and all that slides in there. More of that children's book about ephemera, or ephemera, about woodpeckers. Another flip out. Edith Holden. This is a big flip out, and these are from an old bird watching guide, and I just thought they were really cool. It's the silhouettes. It's how to tell the birds from their silhouettes, and then there's a list of them. And so they're both pockets, and behind each pocket there's a big pull-out journaling card. So there and there. Here's an embellished paper clip. You could slide stuff behind it. And on this side I've slid behind it a bird postcard. Here is a pocket that I stamped a butterfly on, and then there are a few things in here. A bird's tag journaling card, and then this is a see-through piece of vellum, so you can kind of halfway see through it. And then here's a little envelope that I have just done some collaging and layering on, and inside are a couple of little journaling cards with a bird and a butterflies. You know, all things wings for this book. Here's some more pockets on the front of this next signature. There's a journaling card in here. And then inside this glassine bag, there is another journaling card. And behind it, it makes another pocket with another journaling card. There's another flip out. Here, this, so I just recently commented on a Tracy Fox video, and she was making these, and I said I need to stop watching her videos for a minute so I can get something done, because every time she makes does like a craft with me or a tutorial, then I see it and I go, oh my gosh, that would look great in my next book. So then I go to my next, then I go and start crafting, and I never get anything accomplished. But I loved this idea, and so this is an envelope. It just has a journaling card in here. And then here, and her idea came from Nick the Booksmith, I think, or was inspired partially by that, and then some a die punch that I don't have or have not seen, but does this thing as well. So here are a couple of little tags that I made from like stamps, and then they're just some different pockets here, like this, and they pull out and they have tags, like that. Anyhow, and then there's a little collaging here that says item description. So I loved it. I loved this idea and made several of them. You'll see another one in the book. So more Edith Holden. Here's some Little Child's Lamb's essays. This is a Tracy Fox tag. See, Tracy Fox, what the heck? Watching too much of her. No, but she's awesome. And if you're watching this, you've probably seen her, and if you haven't, then you definitely need to go, because she's awesome. So here's another embellished paper clip holding in a paper postcard. The other side of that little cute little book. Some more Edith Holden, some more Zoe Toffield. It's a little half page here. This is a file folder that opens up and has just some journaling pieces of cards and stuff in there. It says A Fortunate Find. That slips inside this tuck spot, and there's an envelope on the back, and there is a journaling card in there with some butterflies on it, and then a pocket here, and it just has a couple of tags in it. This is a beautiful die cut template that I have, and then I stuck a couple of little stones on there. It's really pretty. Love that image. Here is another envelope. This is a different one. This is just a, there is a journaling card in here. And then I've just done some buttons and some layering and collaging on the front and back. This is some vintage music paper behind, sheet music. This is some printed out on vellum, and I've had it in my stash for a while, so I cut it out and stuck it in here. It's a very pretty image. Some more vellum. Here's another flip out. This, you know, I'm looking at this. This might be part of Nick the Booksmith's Broken China, or yeah, something like that. Anyway, so there you go. There's another kit that I've used parts of. This flips over and creates a tuck spot here. So here's another one of those offcut pieces that I made into a journaling card. And then these pretty ducks that are dipping down in the water. And when you flip it open, here's their little poem about the duck's ditty. And I've sewn that on. And there's a little pocket here with a tag in it. And then over here, there's another pocket that has an old card catalog. It says World of Birds. And then here's another little envelope with some collaging and some more baby little ephemeras in here. Birds. And then that tucks back in this pocket. Like so. More vellum. Here is another big collaged tuck spot here with all kinds of stuff. This is some of the wallpaper that I have available in my shop now too. You can fray the tops and bottoms of it like this. It's really cool stuff. And then here's another one of those flashcards and another one of the offcut tags. Here's another pocket. It says, do more than exist, which I agree with. Some tags. This is another glassine bag, and there are just some big journaling cards in and behind it. Here are some file folders on top of file folders that you could do some journaling inside of. Here is the next one of those Tracy Fox inspired by other people envelopes. And so same thing, it just is clipped onto this page. And for the sake of time, I won't take it off, but it's the same idea. This is a pocket. I didn't stick anything in, but you could put photos or letters or anything like that, postcards. Crinkly paper. This is from a children's book as well. Had this little page about flyaway birds. Here's another tag, it just flips up and it says to fly it to your heart. It has little brads on it and butterfly washi on the back, and some pretty eyelash trim. Then here's a little poem called White Butterflies and a couple of tags. This is from Zoe's kit, and that flips up. Another page from the children's hymnal. Then here is the other one of those silhouettes, bird silhouettes. I made pockets sideways this time. So pulling out of the sides of those are journaling cards. This is more from a children's science book about birds and what makes them different from other animals. Another tag that just has some, this you can get, this extra long eyelash, you can get that in my Etsy shop now. And then there's just a little placard on the bottom with some brads. That's just clipped in, you could move it. The other part of that children's page, more crunchy paper. Here is the other half of that pocket from before. So again, there's nothing in it, but you could stick stuff in there. And then on the back, there is a belly band, and inside of the belly band is another notebook with score paper in it. And then on the front, this is a big pocket that has a tag inside of it. This is in one of the kits, I believe the vintage butterfly one maybe, and it just says there is beauty and simplicity on the bottom. And that just tucks back in. And then this is just some sewn on collaging and my tag on the back. So it has my regular binding where it has the space in the back so that it lays flat, but then when it closes, it pops back shut. So if for some reason it didn't, you would just push the pages in and it will pop shut, so it lays nice and flat. So there you go. This is the second. It's called Wings. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon or evening or whatever it is, wherever. Hope you're enjoying life. I will see you again very soon. Thank you so much. God bless. Bye-bye.